music you're into. If I mention the songs, The Way You Do the Things You Do, and Red Red Wine, you probably know who I'm talking about. Of course, I'm talking about UB40. And wouldn't you know it, they are actually on their way very soon to Delmarva. They are performing at the Freeman Arts Pavilion. We are lucky enough to have them on the Delaware coast, and I was definitely lucky enough to jump on a Zoom with Jim Brown, one of the OGs of UB40. It's a story of a group of young friends who went on to be one of the most popular reggae groups in the world.
We go back to when we were like 11 years old. We were at school together. You know, we've known each other all our lives, really, and we've enjoyed success together.
There are still 4 original members in the group. Jim Brown, the drummer, is one of them.
We really genuinely enjoy it. We like each other's company, which is unusual for a band that's been around that many years. Very often they can stay in separate. The only time they get together is when they're on stage, whereas all our families know each other. We've got lots of kids and grandkids, and they're all connected, and it's kind of a big family thing.
The Red Red Wine Tour is bringing the group back to the United States. When I asked Brown his favorite places to visit in the U.S., he told me that was a difficult question to answer, but he does have really fond memories.
You know, there's been great times. We played Madison Square Garden, sold out when we had a #1 single, #1 album. You know, to me, Madison Square Garden was one of those iconic venues. You know, I remember late at night watching Muhammad Ali fighting whoever, you know, at Madison Square Garden, and it's a strong memory from when I was little, you know.
Tour is celebrating the release of the band's 45th anniversary album called UB45. But fans can still expect the classics, the iconic hits, and some new songs during the shows.
We will be doing all the hits, obviously, you know, and we've got several of those. So, you know, we're lucky to have that. But also, we're going to be doing some new stuff too. We're going to be doing some new material. We're a heritage band, but we don't want to be sitting there just doing hits. You know, we want to be still writing new material. So there'll be some new songs from our new album, UB45.
Jim even has some fashion advice for those of you going to any of the shows on the tour.
We want people to be up and dancing, so ladies, don't wear high heels because you're going to be standing up all night, hopefully. And singing, you know, hopefully send people home with sore feet and a sore throat from shouting, and that's the idea, so come and have some fun.
And while they're still playing music with plans to keep on grooving, Brown says it isn't lost on him that they're lucky to see the kind of success that they have. But at the end of the day, their music has always resonated with fans.
You know, if I knew why we were successful, then I could put it in a bottle and sell it and we'd be multi-billionaires, you know. I don't really understand why we go with it. At first, it's kind of difficult, you know, when crowds are cheering and you're looking behind to see if somebody's just walked on, you know. But we got used to that in the end, and no idea. But I do think one thing, I think choosing the genre of reggae, well, we didn't choose it, reggae chose us because we came from like a high immigrant area, you know, where a lot of people from the Caribbean came, particularly Jamaica, and they brought that sound system culture with them, and that's what we were surrounded by. We heard the latest cuts from Jamaica before we would hear the latest #1 or the latest pop records, you know. So we were brought up with the music, and I think that genre cuts across boundaries and barriers, you know, and I think it's inclusive music.
Worldwide success, tours, Grammy nominations, and more. But at the end of the day, Brown is a normal family man.
I'm one of the lucky people, you know. I've been able to be paid for something I love to do. We've been very successful. We've never stopped working. We're still doing really well now. That's a miracle. So, you know, I've got no complaints. I don't have a bucket list because I feel like I've already achieved more than you could ever put into any kind of bucket list. So, you know, phenomenal, really.
I wish I could show you guys the entire interview. I mean, we of course had to cut it down a little bit, but he was so fun to talk to. Such a down-to-earth guy and really just loves what he does. And if you of course love UB40, don't forget they are going to be at the Freeman Arts Pavilion this weekend. I know, so run, go get your tickets. You can go to the Freeman Arts Pavilion website, see what is still available. But of course, UB45 and all the other songs that they've recorded through the years, you can find wherever you listen to music. We have more Coast Life coming your way, you guys. We'll be right back.